Hello, welcome to your in-depth horoscope forecast for week commencing the 29th of June for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Also, please join me directly on Twitter where we can chat. My handle is @HoroscopeAce. Also, please join Elisa and I for the daily astrology and tarot video show, which is proving great fun, really popular, and you can grab your free daily horoscope every single day. Please see the link for this beneath this video. So we begin this week with last week's quarter moon in the sign of Libra, providing a backdrop of energy throughout this one. With the Sun in the sign of Cancer and Mercury continuing to retrograde, what this is informing us is that we need to just be mindful around emotional considerations or our relationships, just to step back a little bit, keep a sense of logic and detachment, especially if someone disappoints us by not responding quite in the way we would like. Now, this is the week when Mars is going to start its long journey through the sign of Aries, which of course it governs. Now, this can be hugely positive, but it is going to be going through a near to 10-week retrograde, which begins in September, and it will be squaring up with the big three that from this week, with Saturn returning back to Capricorn, are located in that sign. However, initially, I think what Mars is going to do is fire us up, especially around our individual needs. It's also started to forge a very positive link with Venus, which pretty well goes on for most of this month. That's great if we want to connect with people in a way that's not been possible if you've been in a location where the lockdown has been particularly stringently applied. Now, this is also a week from Monday through to Wednesday when the Sun is sparkling beautifully with Uranus. If we can find some fresh ways to evolve, particularly around our home existence, and to flex and to be a bit more imaginative about how we live in our abodes or make the most of our outdoor spaces, this would be a fine thing to do. Some people may be quite entrepreneurial from the comfort of their home, and anything which is quite innovative can actually do very well. Now, on Wednesday at 3:52 a.m. UCT, Universal Central Time, the Sun and Mercury come together in an exact conjunction, combust. Now, this confers on somebody who's born with this in their natal horoscope, as long as they don't have any difficult aspects from Saturn and Pluto, a real opportunity to shine when it comes to using their mind. But of course, Mercury is not at its best in the sign of Cancer and is in retrograde. So the Sun's inching forwards, Mercury's taken a step backwards. But I still think it's a great time to have a powwow with the people that you see as being in your extended family or group, or to express with real meaning how something seems to us at a more emotional level. But it is true, as this week draws to a close, that Saturn does go back into that retrograde. Now, of course, Saturn is dignified in the sign of Capricorn. Its transit through that sign in the previous 2.25 years until the 21st of March is not necessarily in itself a bad thing. It's the fact that Jupiter and Pluto are really side by side in this sign. Jupiter's not at its best here, and this week they are inching closer. It's going to be by the 10th of July that they are absolutely exact. So we've got a polarization between the Sun and Mercury in the sector of emotion and feeling and family and home, and Saturn returning to the part of our scope that's to do with big demands, big responsibilities, more governmental interference or guidance, and with Jupiter conjoining with Pluto that can see some action in terms of the stock market. So how do these two polarities work out? That's going to be the big story of July. But what we can do is fall back on that glorious link between Venus and Mars, which is encouraging us to really try to create a spark between ourselves and the people that really matter. Your specific forecast, Cancer, sees you summoning up extra power, gravitas and self-confidence, and this can go on right through to the start of next year. Yes, it's Mars arriving in your 10th solar house. This is going to give you extra majesty, but also if you use your talents in a way which attracts greater attention, it can raise your profile and give you an opportunity to increase your standing professionally or even in terms of your status. The trick with Mars in the 10th house is not to be too overbearing. It is actually forging a link with Saturn as this week begins, which can keep your feet on the ground. Saturn's in the part of your scope as the week begins, which is to do with shared resources. So this link is excellent if you are making a move from a professional or business viewpoint to try to advance your situation. However, ironically, by the end of this week, Saturn retreats back into the sign of Capricorn, where it's going to be to the 16th of December. Now, the retrograde is also going to be going on pretty well to the end of September. So a relationship matter may require a little bit more thought, or perhaps you may find that you're encountering some headwinds as far as relationships are concerned. With Jupiter and Pluto very closely allied together, this can be an area that causes some frustrations, but also creates some opportunities. It all depends on our relationship to the planetary influences. We're not passive victims, so it depends on what you're working on within yourself and how you're trying to apply the benefits of this combination to the interactions you have. Now, it is true to say that the Sun in your sign is forging a magical link with Uranus in the first half of this week. Someone a little bit unusual or different, or a fresh idea on your approach could actually work out very well. Even if you're someone who's quite thorough and quite systematic in the way you approach things, sometimes it is good just to let go and be a bit more free-spirited and be in the moment. And the first half of this week could be one of those times. Now also the Sun is going to come into an exact conjunction at 3:52 a.m. Universal Central Time on Wednesday with Mercury also in your sign. Now, of course, Mercury is tracking backwards, so perhaps something that you do want to achieve in the short term has been a little bit blocked or not quite flowing as you would like. The combination together, however, can give you a real chance to be really, really quick-witted, and you could summons up some way to do something that's been causing a bit of a problem and unlock a solution. Now, Venus does continue in the part of your horoscope to do with contemplation, but it's linking very positively to Mars as this week comes to a close and throughout pretty well the rest of July. If you take the lead, if you take the initiative, there could be a subtle approach that you take around a relationship matter. It could be of a professional, in the professional realm. It may be more personally, but a mixture of your self-confidence and leadership together with some subtlety could work out to your great benefit before the end of July. Thank you so much for having joined me. If you'd like to explore more serious astrology and ascend above your zodiac sign, please check out my range of affordable reports beneath this video. You can get 30% off if you buy a 12-month forecast and a character analysis, or if you'd like to see the testimonials, you may choose to have a one-to-one with me, which would be a great honour. But for now, take care, stay safe, and good luck.